Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over to the test server to see the changes that have come through for the blessings within the game. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. I'm live on my main account here logged in, and also on the test server on the other screen. We'll be looking at every single one of the blessings and comparing them to the live version and with the test server version, which includes the changed up blessing. Okay, whether they're buffed or nerfed, we'll see that together. We'll react. I want to see your comments down below. I want to see your reaction, and if what player went ahead and gone through with the changes is fair or not for the whole how healthy the game will be after the blessings are changed. So let's get started. Looking at the blessings right from the start, we have opened up both the live server here on this side of the screen, and on the far right side of the screen you can see the test server, which I've made clear by putting in there my test server tag right there. So it's pretty clear and obvious right there. Right, so let's get started. We'll have a look at Indomitable Spirit, which is the first blessing from the rares, and see which one of those has changed. So this one has a chance of blocking any stun, sleep, fear debuffs, and if you fully get this to a 6-star, you have a 20% chance of blocking debuffs and the extra speed and accuracy and all that. So what has changed on the test server? Well, this blessing has now become a little bit stronger with 25% chance of blocking the debuffs. The 15% chance remains on the 5-star, so it has only become stronger when you actually manage to have this blessing on the 6-star. If this is how they're going to go through with everything, I don't know yet. This will be a little bit disappointing, because this will mean that only when you have a 6-star will it be really worth compared to how it was before. Ideally, they would have buffed the initial versions, and the 6-star blessing would have remained a little bit of the same, plus the whatever improvement they did to the earlier versions. But so far it's looking like that. It doesn't change much on this, but a 25% chance is 1 out of 4 compared to a 1 out of 5, which is kind of obvious, right? Looking at the second one, Miracle Heal, we do have, it seems to be like a small change of 30% of the restore when you have the 6-star blessing compared to the 15% here. This is a double the change, and it has also changed on the previous levels, it seems. So on level 1, instead of 5%, it's now 10%. So this is a pretty solid blessing. If I want to say for the rare blessings, I like this change, and I like how they've made it so much clearer for all of us when we're looking at the blessing. Looking at the blessing of Iron Will, which is the epic blessing available in the light blessings category, it looks to be the same to me. It has no change on the test server, so I'm okay with that. Iron Will was pretty solid blessing on its own if you decided to get that one. Then let's have a look at Heaven Cast. So the Heaven Cast is the one where the default skill ignores resistance. That's how it is on the live version, with 40% ignore when you have the 6-star blessing. And on the test server, yep, no change in there at all. The blessing has changed none at all. So let's have a look at Intimidating Presence. Now this goes to strengthens the team's aura 35% and weakens the enemy's team's aura by 20%. And if we compare that to the live server, it has remained the same. Let's look at Lightning Cage. Has this become any stronger or not? Bonus damage inflicted, it's 5% and 2.5%. It looks to be, again, it looks to be the same compared to before. So overall, the changes that have been made on the light category were all about the 2 rare blessings at the start. Looking at Dark Resolve here, well, we'll have a look at the changed up blessing. It's 25% chance of blocking debuffs compared to the 20% chance on the live server. Not a big change, again, very similar to the one before. And then we have Phantom Touch, which I hope they didn't nerf this one. It's a very strong blessing in terms of what we have available for rare champions. And now it's 75% chance of inflicting a bonus damage. That is really bad. Wow, this is quite bad. Honestly, they've changed Phantom Touch from the live server on being 100% chance on the 5-stars to 100% on the 6-stars plus the bonus chance. This is huge and not good. Honestly, I don't like this one. It forces you to get some consistency out of Phantom Touch. The need to have the 6-star blessing. With the 5-star blessing, you no longer have that consistency of that extra damage, and especially for Fire Knight, where that counts as an extra hit, where you can actually make a team using that extra hit to push through. Now this becomes even worse. I don't like this, and I hope they revert this one. This is already like a bad change to the blessing. I hope they didn't do anything to cruelty, which I'm looking at next. Cruelty is the decrease of defense, 20% to the bosses, 4% per hit. It looks like it haven't changed anything on this one. Lethal dose is increases poison damage that enemies receive. This is by 100% now on the 5-star, and will ignore 35% of each target's resistance when placing poison debuffs on enemy champions. So if this was in all areas and not arenas, I would have loved this, but they made no change to make this lethal dose work on PvE as well. Poisons are PvE. They have no place in arena at the moment. Even with this change, even the poisons doing 100% more damage, I don't see how they can go away with a simple cleanser, just removing every one of them. There's no way for you. If there was a way to lock out the poisons, also make them guaranteed or protected, I could see lethal dose being something that we could use. And then temporal chains. Let's have a look at temporal chains. This one decreases speed by 5% for each active buff. Instantly decreases turn meter of all enemies by 15%. It looks to be the same for me. Looks to be the same for me with no change happening to temporal chains. Ward of the Fallen looks to be the same as well, with the damage decreased by 30% here, and then the stacks remain the same. So the changes so far have been particularly on the rare version of the blessings, and this one, which was the poison blessing. All right, let's have a look at Hero's Soul, which I think was a strong blessing on its own, so I doubt that this would change at all. Yeah, no change right here to Hero's Soul. Faultless defense has now become a 35% reduction per hit, which is, well, that's the same. No change again. Commanding Presence strengthens your team's aura by 35%. It's again the same as before. No change at all. None on the resistance, none on the speed. Then we have Chainbreaker, which Chainbreaker was used by champions that require the chance to remove the stun, freeze, sleep, or provoke. So this one had a 15% chance of removing debuffs. It has become a 25% chance. Pretty solid boost. And then a 40% chance of filling turn meter by 20% when hit. I kind of like that, and I like this change for Chainbreaker to become a little bit more used. Then we have Life Harvest, which destroys enemies max HP by a certain amount whenever they are revived. This basically becomes destroys enemy max HP by 40%, fills 30% of the target's turn meter, the champion's turn meter. This is very strong. When champions are revived, destroying 40% of their max health is quite strong, honestly. Especially in a big reviver team with high health enemies, destroying 40% is huge, especially if multiple revives happen. You'll be able to beat them down much quicker because of Life Harvest. That is a very strong skill against revive teams. Soul Reap, has this changed at all in terms of the percentage? No change at all to Soul Reap. That's good. All right. And then finally, looking at Carapace in the final blessing tree. This is the other rare blessing that I'm hoping they changed a little bit, with decreased damage received by 30%. It looks to me that they kept it the same. No change at all. When you're receiving less damage through when you're stunned, frozen, slept, feared, or true feared, or petrification. We have Survival Instinct next, which this one, there's no turn restrictions this time around. So I'm thinking that turn restrictions happened when, as it says here, partially fills this champion's turn meter whenever a debuff is placed, spread, or transferred. So if 2 debuffs are placed by a champion, then you can fill the turn meter multiple times. Right now, with this change, this is actually big. Crushing Rend, has any change happen here? Crushing Rend, I hope not. That was insane in terms of what epics can do. Incinerate. Let's have a look at this one. Incinerate destroys. Increase damage from HP burn debuffs by 100%, right? And decrease enemy turn meter whenever they receive damage from HP burn debuffs. That can be strong, but it would mean that they would need to have the HP burn on them. So it completely changed from how the live server has this one. I'm okay with this change, but again, the arena HP burns, you're not gonna see them. Nobody is really gonna use them. And did they nerf sheep at all? 20% chance to apply the sheep, 20% chance. It looks to me like sheep has remained the same as it was before. No change, although sheep is a very strong debuff. Very, very strong. If you have a high blessing sheep, good luck to the enemy team, right? If they're doing anything to your buffs. And let's have a look at Brimstone, the one that I think they're gonna nerf really bad on the test server. So it used to do 25% of the damage of the enemy's max HP and all other champions by 5%. And this was a 100% chance on the 6 stars. And now let's see what happens with this one. It's they nerfed it to 15% chance of placing the smite, going out to 30, and then 70% chance was on the live server. Now it's 60% chance, and only at 6 stars is when you have the smite being at 100% chance. So yeah, this is a nerf to smite happening way less often now when you have it available. It's not clear if they nerfed the damage, but essentially they are nerfing the damage when it's proccing, you know, 5% less than usual, and you know, 10% less than usual on the 5 stars. That is pretty big. They didn't change anything in terms of the values from what I've noticed on any of the blessings. And overall, I think they made most of these blessings, they made the 6-star version much stronger. So requiring a 6-star awakening is now much more the point of their changes. They didn't do insane changes. They honestly only changed incinerate, lethal dose, and some of the rare blessings, which the rare blessings, it was good changes on all of them. Although I don't like the phantom touch one. The phantom touch I disagree with. I hope they change this. And the brimstone, they should have left it the same. I mean, it makes sense to have a very strong blessing for the clan boss, and I don't think people will not be going for this one now for clan boss just because they buffed everything else. This will still be the one you use for clan boss. If you have a legendary that is in the clan boss, you need the damage from smite. It's a lot of damage and can even be used for other areas as well. Didn't see big changes in the legendary ones, only on life harvest. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing when they do the ultimate version of the buff on the 6-star version. So I hope they have a little bit of think through before they actually take this to live, but I highly doubt it because Plarium has shown that they have a set schedule of launches for their patches, and they won't go back to fix something once they have set their minds to it. They only give this us not as a test server, but as a content creation server. This is not a test server. It's a content creation server. We just make the content, and any input from us is honestly disregarded. So have that in mind, guys. When you ask us to say anything, they highly disregard anything that we recommend over like even bigger content creators than me. If they say something, they still ignore them, right? This was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.